And so this is lecture 10 in compiler design, unit 2. And approximately we are going to finish the unit number 2. Only one topic is left, that is the syntax directed translation. Okay, so after this lecture I will engage the lecture 11 on the next day for finishing unit number 2 for binding up. So again we are going to study about the parsing and the types of parsing. Okay, parsing, we are already aware that a parser is nothing but a program that is used to build or to make a number of trees, and it will depend that if we are getting only one parse tree, then we can say that our grammar is unambiguous, otherwise it is called the ambiguous grammar. And with the help of the parser, we will also decide regarding the various types of errors. So the parser uses a program that obtains a string of tokens from the lexical analyzer, and after that the lexical analyzer starts scanning whole the expression and divide into various lexes or into number of tokens. So the parser reports any syntax error in an intelligible fashion. The process of finding a parse tree for a given string of tokens is called the parsing. So what are the basic goals of the parsing? To check the validity of the source string, whether the source string is valid or not. Okay, by grouping the source program taken into process. So first we group different programs and we consider a number of strings and we check the validity of the strings. So we divide our source program into number of source strings, and after that we will check the validity. Okay, and another is called the to determine the syntactic structure of the source string. After that, the parsing method, using the parsing method, the parser will give you a number of parse tree, and that checks the validity of the string, whether you are using the proper grammar or not. Okay, so you will get only single parse tree. It gives the authenticity of the particular grammar of the compiler that is used by the programmer. So the invalid string, the parser issues the diagnostic messages. Okay, the another function of the parser is the to issue the diagnostic messages, and these diagnostic messages are nothing but the error messages reporting this cause and nature of errors in the string. So what type of errors are occurring in the given string, so it will be diagnosed by the parser. Okay, the parser tree is handed over to the subsequent phases of the compiler. The error handler in a parser has the following function, and now we will see that what are the different functions of the handler in a parser. So it should report the presence of errors. Okay, the handler gives the report the presence of errors accurately. Okay, it should recover from each parser quickly enough to be able to detect subsequent error. So ultimately, it gives the error and it presence of errors report to the programmer. So it should not significantly slow down the processing of correct programs. So if your program is correct, then the procedure we will use the same. The compiler will use the same procedure to debug the program, or if it is wrong, if you have some sort of errors in the program, okay, then If there is no any type of errors, it means it does not slow down your program. Okay, if your program is correct primarily, then it doesn't slow down your program. It will do its function. Okay, so there are, we can say, two types of methods. Whenever we are using the parse, we are using the parsing, then there are two methods. First is called the top down parsing and another is called the bottom up parsing. So in top down parsing, we can say that there are two procedures. Okay, whenever we are going to implement the parse tree, and before that the lexical analyzer is going to scan our source program. After that, parser can use any method, okay, to do the parsing. So first is called the top down parsing and another is called the bottom up parsing. So what happens in the top down parsing? In top down parsing, we will start from the root. Okay. Here, in case of the top down parsing, we will start from the root node and after that we will go downward. Okay. We will divide all the program into different number of tokens and after that the, we can say, signal will flow from root node to the children node. That is, we will move from top to bottom. Okay, so we will start from the parental node, from the parents, and then we will approach toward the children node. Okay, so in this way the signal will flow from upside to the downside, and the procedure will be different, or we can say just opposite, if we will use the bottom up parsing. From in the bottom up parsing, we will start from the last node, or we can say from the bottom node, and we will go towards the top. We can say that we will move toward the root node. Okay, so we will start from the children node and we will move toward the parent node. So we will, here the signal will flow from the downward to the upward, so direction will be different here in this case. So we can say that the parsing methods are two types. First is called the top down parsing and another is called the bottom up parsing. So in bottom up parsing, we will start from the root node and we will move toward the children node, or we can say we will move toward the bottom node. Okay, and in case of the bottom of parsing, the method is just reverse, just opposite. Okay, and then first in this case we will divide our program and after that here the tree structure we will implement and it will start from the root node. Okay, if we are using the top down parsing, then we can see what is the top down parsing. Again we can elaborate. Suppose we have any grammar, so we will use that grammar and according to the grammar of the compiler we will start from the top and we will approach toward the bottom. Okay, so in this case, we will choose a source string because our source program will be divided into number of source string. A program, source program has a number of expression. Okay, and an expression contains various source string. Okay, so in this case, we will start to divide our source string and we will use the method top down parsing. So we will start to divide the source string from top to bottom. Okay, so just in this case we can assume that alpha is any string. Okay, so a top down parse that determines a derivation sequence. So in this case we will get ultimately a derivation sequence. Okay, so as star here it is given and this is equivalent to alpha. Okay, alpha is any string. So we will use here grammar of the compiler and then we will divide our string from top to bottom. So here we will divide the string and the signal will flow from top side to bottom side. So it can be derived from S. So S is, we can say that, the subset, okay, or we can say here it is a set of string, and then we are going to divide S. Where what is the S star? S star, it is a combination of several strings, okay, means it is a repetition. So if you you can see here, if there is a star, okay, on any character here, it means that character is repeating again and again. Okay, so S star, here we can say that it is a combination of various strings, and we are choosing the alpha, one of the string from that big string. We can say it is a concatenated group of strings, and ultimately we will get as a output alpha. Alpha is a source string, we can say, whatever we want to achieve. So it can be derived from S. Then parse is said to be successful. Okay, otherwise it is said to be unsuccessful. So if we are able to derive the alpha from the set S star, okay, from the set S star, then we can say it is a successful. Otherwise, if we are unable to derive these strings, okay, we cannot create alpha string from the S star, then we can say it is unsuccessful. So we will check that whether alpha is a subset of S star or not. Okay. So this is called the, in this approach or in this method, we will move from top to down. Okay. Now here we will use a simple algorithm. Simple algorithm gives you the best method to divide various tokens, or we can say the various strings from from a particular expression. Okay, then we will draw the syntax tree for a particular string. Okay, so we divide again the string into various, we can say, tokens, okay, terminals and non-terminals, and finally we will draw here a tree with the help of the top-down parsing. So for that we will use a, we can say, a simple algorithm for that. So what is that? Here, at any stage of derivation process, a non-terminal is chosen from the sentential form. Okay, complete is called the sentential form. Okay, if there is a expression, then we can say that is called the sentential form. Okay, so from a sentential form, we can divide a number of strings and a derivation of effected to a grammar rule. So it is convenient to do this for the leftmost of the sentence. So this is a simple algorithm which we will use for the parsing purpose. Okay, so we can say that a top-down parsing is also known as left-to-left parsing. Okay, this is also called L to L. Here we will indicate it by capital L dash capital L. Okay, L to L parsing. So a top-down parsing is also known as left-to-left parsing, L dash L parsing. Okay, so a top-down parsing, another name, it is indicated by L to L parsing or left to left parsing. So the derivation tree would grow to the left and consist of a terminal symbol. So whenever we will draw the syntax tree, then it contains various terminal symbols. Okay. So implementation issues in top-down parsing. So what are the implementation issues in top-down parsing? Here we will start performing the continuous check. Okay, so whenever we are going to divide our expression, or we can say that our strings into various terminals, then we perform the continuous check. Okay, so and another is the source string marker. Here we will use the SSM, that is called the SSM, source string marker, and prediction mechanism. Okay, in this case we will predict. Here a input string will be provided to you, okay, and after that you have to match what type of output you want to achieve. Okay, so here we will use the prediction mechanism with the help of the SSM. SSM, it is a source string marker. Okay, it is a sort of pointer. Okay, you will check with the help of the pointer what type of characters you want to achieve. Third one is the matching and backtrack mechanism. Okay, so here first we will do the continuous check, and after that we will use the SSM. Okay, and after that we will check matching and backtrack mechanism. Okay, if your string is matching as per the given string or whatever you want to output, then we will finalize the output. Otherwise, we will use the backtrack mechanism. It means our path is wrong, and then again we will return from that point and choose the another option. Okay, because earlier in case of grammar you have already studied that suppose if the suppose E is given, okay, expression is given, E colon equal, that is the production symbol, equal to E plus T or means slash E minus T slash A slash B, like that. Okay, then you have to choose as per need what you want to output. Okay, so input string is given, then you have to match with the input string what is given, and as per need you can choose the expression from the given grammar. Okay, you have to choose the expression from the given grammar. Either you can choose E plus T, or you can choose E minus T, or you can choose A, or you can choose B, like that, and so on. Okay, so if the matching is possible, then you can say that your particular output, whatever you want, it is okay, it is matching. Otherwise, you will return back. That is called the backtrack mechanism. And then you have to choose another option. Okay. So whenever you will choose the another option, then again you will get the output whatever you want. Whatever. Okay.
हमने दिखाई ना
वो है जी सब ऑप्शन दे लगा
So just I am considering here performing the continuous check. Suppose S is a, here any sentence is given and we have already broken that sentence into a number of strings. Okay, so here we are choosing B A pi. Okay, suppose B is any string, A is any string followed by pi. Okay, and alpha is an input string. Alpha is an input string. Suppose you want to match that with the help of the alpha. Okay, and BA and here pi. So BA, these are the various strings. Okay, so the current sentential form will be of the form like that. So it will start from B and beta and so on. Why this is? Suppose alpha is an input string. Suppose this is the input string alpha, and in this string you have some characters. Okay, and those characters maybe start from this. So first we have to choose this. It means beta, this character. Okay. Now we will, from where we will get this beta, we will get from the given particular grammar. Okay, suppose we have the grammar, then we can choose this option of beta. We can choose this option beta from the that given particular grammar and so on. So we will choose this from the given grammar as per input string. Okay, so this is called the continuous check. So we will check, first we will check the grammar, and after that we will apply the SSM and prediction mechanism. So SSM is an input pointer to the given source string. Okay, so this is the given source string, and we have already told you regarding SSM. SSM is an source string marker. Okay, this is called the source string marker, and this is nothing but a pointer. So it will scan, or we can say read, one character at one time. Okay, suppose we have the input string CAD. Okay, then SSM first it will check, okay, whether the first token is matching or not. So first token in the input string is the C. Okay, so first we will check our first character is meeting or not. So then as per check, we can proceed further. Okay, so derivation, so whatever we will get the output, that is called the derivation. Derivation according to a selected alternative is known as prediction. Okay, then we will do the prediction whether we are able to achieve the output or not. Okay, so if our prediction is wrong, then we will use the backtrack mechanism. Means we will return again, and then we will choose another option which is provided or given in the particular grammar. So we will choose another option from there, and this mechanism is known as the prediction mechanism. So in this case we will do the prediction. So what is the backtrack mechanism? Now we are considering an example also. So backtrack mechanism means the unsuccessful match. So at the starting, if we are unable to match our string, or we are unable to get the particular output, whatever we want, it means there is a unsuccessful match. Okay, and in this case, we will proceed further and we will return back. Okay, so we will return back. It means our prediction was wrong. Okay, then we will return again and choose another option from the given grammar. So this is called the backtrack mechanism, or we can say backing. So consider the grammar. This is called the grammar, and we indicate it by capital G. And suppose S is here given CAD. Okay, so these are the, we can say, string. Here string is provided to you, and what is the value of here A? For the A, we can choose either AB or A. Here slash sign indicates that either we can choose AB or we can choose A as per need. Okay, as per need. So this is the given grammar. Okay, we cannot change this grammar. Just we will start to choose from this string if we are able, if there is a matching. Suppose here the input string is CAD. Okay, so the scanning will start from here. This is the given grammar. Okay, so here the input string, we will start from here. So SSM, we will set SSM, that is the source string marker, initially to C. Okay, and SSM will try to match the first character. So this is C, and here in the grammar is capital C. So it is matching. Okay, so no need to do nothing. Here it is already matching. Okay, we can say the successful pass. Okay, successful pass. So in the first round, we can say that your first character is matching. Then it is called the successful pass, or we can say successful match. Okay, and after that, the SSM that is the counter, and here we are indicated by a pointer, so it is increased by 1. Okay, so pointer means here p plus 1, again it will go towards small e. Okay, after that we have small small a. Okay, and now you can see here, just you come here, so first is matching, another is the here a, capital A. So if we will do the prediction, if we will choose this AB, then here is not matching. The pass is unsuccessful. If we will choose AB, then the output will come capital C, okay, capital C, and then A is equal to, we will replace this A by AB. So capital C, AB, then D. Okay, it means this is not matching. First character is matching C, but here is AB if you will choose this option. Okay, so this is unsuccessful match and we will return again. Okay, we will return, we will do the backtrack, we will use the backtrack mechanism. Okay, so we will use the backtrack mechanism and then we will choose this option. Okay, then capital C and A will be replaced by small a. So here it will come capital C small a. It means here the SSM will indicate matching. Okay, capital C and then small a. It means the pointer SSM will check the match. Here it is matching. So if we will use this option, that is the second option A, then C A, it will match. Okay, so then after successful match, the SSM will proceed next. Okay, then SSM will proceed next. So here is small d. Okay, and here we want the small d. Okay, so this has already been matched, and third one, no need to do this, just SSM will move here and then it will match with this. Here is d, here is also d. Okay, it means third time again our pass is successful. We can say successful match. Okay, so in this case no need to go or use backtrack mechanism. Okay, here our prediction is okay because this is already matching. But in this case, whenever we will choose the first option, then we can say that unsuccessful pass or we can say unsuccessful match. Okay, in this way we can move. Okay, so here we can say successful match. So to construct a parse tree, there are several steps. First step is called the create a tree consisting of a single node labeled as S and set an input pointer, that is SSM2C. Okay, so first we will set our source string marker to C, capital C. So initially it will set to C, and in step 2 use production for S and obtain the tree. Okay, so in the second case it is we have to choose the option A, B and then A. Okay, because we have already seen in this case we have the two options. So first we will check with the help of the AB and then again we will backtrack and then we will use this option. So these are the parse tree we can check here. So initially create a tree with single node labeled as. So this is the single node as, okay, and at the starting, okay, so CAD, okay, here we will draw the parse tree. This is called the syntax tree. So this will come, just you can divide this node CAD like that, okay, and input pointer point to C. So initially we will set input pointer here SSM to here, the first symbol of W. Okay, W is the given string, input string. Okay, expand the tree with the production of S. So here we can see that the first character is matching. Then we will move towards this. So in step 2, whenever we will move to step 2, then leftmost C matches the first symbol of W. It is okay, already successful match. And then we will advance our input pointer. That is, we will advance or we will add 1 to our input pointer SSM, and to the second symbol of W, A. Okay, the second symbol in the given string is A, small a, and consider the next leaf A. Okay, here this is the next leaf. Expand A using first alternative. So our first alternative is AB. Okay, because we already know here AB is given first alternative. This is called the first alternative, and we want to achieve this. Okay, and this is the given grammar. Then come here, use first option, then A, okay, and this is AB. So AB option, we can divide AB like that. Okay. Now step 3. The second symbol A of W also match with second leaf of tree. Okay. So advance the input pointer to third symbol of WD. But the third leaf of tree is B, which does not match with the input symbol D. Okay. Hence discard the chosen production. Why we are going to discard this match? Because just see here, okay, our option is AB. AB is given. So again we are dividing AB to AB. Okay, just we are dividing this option. You can see here. Here, first option is AB. Okay, so just we are drawing our tree AB. Here we can achieve our input C, A, and D. But due to this is unsuccessful match, and we want to discard this. Okay, so we cannot discard this. For discarding this, we have to choose another option. That is, we have to choose single small a. Okay, we will avoid this. Otherwise, this B will create problem in the syntax tree. Okay, this will create the problem, and we cannot achieve the proper output as given in the input string, because we want to achieve this CAD. Okay, where we will carry this B. So that's why we will use the another option, that is the single A. Okay, so we will use the backtracking mechanism in that case, and we will use the another option. Okay, so for choosing the another option, we will use this mechanism, that is called the backtracking, or we can say return back. So we can see the example of backtracking, and again we will draw the syntax tree. Okay, we will draw again the syntax tree here. So step 4, that is called the step 4. Now try the second alternative for A. Okay, and we will draw the syntax or parse tree again. Then as CAD, okay, and another option we will choose, that is the single A, small a. Okay, now we are able to get the proper output as given in the input string. Okay, CAD. Now we can choose the option C. The SSM will set here for C, then for A, then for D. Okay, now we can halt and announce the successful completion of parsing. So this is called the successful completion of parsing. Okay, and here we are using the top down parsing, because we are dividing it from the top and approaching towards the children node. So these are called the children node. Okay, these are called the children node, and this is called the main node, that is the parent node. Okay, so here we are able to achieve our output, and this is called the successful match. Okay, successful completion of parsing. Okay, here we have to use the first method, that is called the top down parsing. Okay, or L to L parsing, left to left parsing, another name for that. So another method is called the bottom up parsing. So as the name suggests you, that here we will start our work from the bottom, okay, from the children node, and the signal will flow in the opposite direction of the top down parsing. Okay, here the signal will flow from the children node and we will approach toward the root node. Okay, so here with the help of the bottom up parsing, we can check the validity of various sentential forms. Okay, here we will move from the bottom to top, and at the bottom what we have? We have only the number of tokens. Okay, at the end here we have only the various number of terminals and non-terminals. Okay, and again here we will divide our non-terminal symbols to the terminal symbols. So ultimately we have various terminal symbols. Okay, so we can move from bottom to top, and here we will get the final output, that is the complete sentence form. Okay, so here we can check our output, okay, and we can match with the input. So whenever we will combine various tokens from the downside, and as we will approach toward the top side, then after combination of various tokens, whether we are able to get the complete sentential form or not. Okay, if we are able to get the proper sentential form, then we can say that our parse is successful. That is called the bottom up parsing. Okay, so general type of bottom up parser, it is also called the shift reduce parser. Why is it called the shift reduce parser? Because we will start from the last tokens at the bottom, and then we will combine few tokens, and again we will move towards upside, and again we will combine various other tokens from the left side and from the right side, and again combined, and we will move toward the root node, and similarly we will continue this work, and ultimately at the end we will get our final output, final expression. Okay, so that expression is called the complete sentential form. Okay, that expression will be called as complete sentential form. So we can say that bottom up parser is also called the shift reduce parser. Okay, so in this case we will shift and reduce. So there are two types of method. So what is the shift reduce parser? You are already aware by this. So this is also called the bottom up parsing, that attempts to construct a parse tree for an input string. Beginning at the leaves, we can also called as the leaves, and working up toward the root node. So here we can form the root node easily. Okay, so here I am taking your attendance again because there are 15 students, and we will continue this shift reduce parsing. So here we will start from the bottom and approach to the top. So that is called the bottom up parsing. Now we are considering this grammar. Now S is given small a, capital B, small e, a. Okay, and again this is equal to A, B, C or B. So either we can choose in place of this either capital A, small bc, or for the complete one we can also choose small b. this is the given grammar, we cannot change this, okay, because this is already given. So capital B here, we can replace capital B by D, okay, the sentence to be recognized. Now we want this as a output, okay, A, B, B, C, D, E. Now we have to settle this with the help of these two grammar, okay. So we will approach in this way so that we are able to get this, okay. So we will start from the downside, okay, we will start from the downside and we will take care of each character one by one. So this is the solution for this reduction. Leftmost we are going to reduce again and again. Rightmost derivation. So here we will start from A, B, B, C, D, E. This is given. A, B, B, C, D, E. Okay, this is given. And we will start from A, B, B, C, D, E. And then now start to replace this. Okay. Single B we will replace by capital A. Okay, as per requirement. Okay, as per requirement, what we are doing, a small b we are replacing by capital A. Now you can see here small a, this b we are replacing by capital A. Okay, so we are writing here small a, capital A, we are replacing this b, and then again this b, c, d, e. Okay, we will write again the same here. Again you can replace capital A, small b, c, this string by capital A, because this is already given grammar in your question, in your problem. So we can replace this by capital A. So now we can write small a, in place of capital ABC, we can write capital A. Okay, now this is remaining only DE. So we can write DE. Now again, we know that from the preceding grammar, given grammar in the problem, capital B by small d. Okay, now we can replace this D, okay, this D by capital B. So we can write again A, capital A, and in place of small d, capital B, and then this E. Okay, and small a, capital B, E. This is equivalent to S. You can check this. This is given grammar already. Okay, this is the given grammar. In the preceding case, you can see this. A, capital B, small e, and this is equivalent to S. So just we are replacing this by S. Okay, so we are replacing this by S. So you are able to get the capital S. So you started from the given string here, that is you are going to start from the input string given. Okay, just you are approaching from bottom and top is this. Here top is this. So just start to reduce this by using this grammar. Okay, here S is equal to this, A is equal to this or this. You have the option for the capital A and B is D. Okay, now you can set this and you have to obtain this. Okay, so just your, I think time is going to be complete, and try to, I will give you such type of questions and then try to solve that. Okay, such type of string we may ask in the grammar, that is called the shift reduce parser. Okay, so you can use here bottom up method or the top up method, top down method. Okay, now we will take these handles in the next and also the syntax tree grammar. And one thing is left, syntax directed translation. So we will take the handles and the syntax directed translation in the next lecture. Okay.